and the Wareham Gatemen. Both of them have their catchers batting in the cleanup spot, but we haven't seen any of them yet because both teams went 1-2-3 in the first inning. I'm Connor Federico, joined by Jacob Toby. We'll hear from Sam Corman with an in-game update soon, and Claudia Chakamian. She'll be interviewing Coach Don Snedden in the fifth inning, so make sure to stick around for that. But we've got a great baseball game going on tonight. 0-0 so far between the Harwich Mariners and the Wareham Gatemen. Jake Anchia will lead off the top of the second. 6'1", weighs 210 pounds. He throws and hits on the right side. He'll be a junior next year at Nova Southeastern University. Noah Song deals first pitch, and it is a called strike. So the count goes to 0-1 on Anchia. Top of the second, Noah Song deals on the 0-1. This one, off speed, looks low and away. So Noah Song doesn't have anything truly off speed, but he has a fastball, gets about 94 miles an hour, a cutter and a sinker. Neither of those get below 80 miles an hour, but they can throw up a hitter. Here's the 1-1. It is lined to the second baseman on a one-hop. It's Novak on to first in time to retire Anchia, and he's set down in his first at-bat of the game. That'll bring up Blake Sabol.
Well, even though Anchia got retired, it's good to see him out there because obviously he had to come out of the game yesterday after one at-bat, got nicked up a bit, but head coach Don Snedden saying he's good to go, and there he is right there, getting contact on the bat.
New batter, new count. It's Blake Sabol now. He'll be batting on the left side. Just finished his freshman season at USC, where he hit .250 in 26 starts and 40 appearances. Here's the first pitch to Sabol. It's called high by Ronaldo Cockrum. Sabol was 1 for 4 yesterday, just that base hit in the game against Hyannis, one of only a few in a game where the Gatemen bat struggled. Here's the 1-0, and it's called for a strike. Count is even, 1-1 on Sabol. Sabol, another guy listed as a catcher that for sure wants to be playing behind the plate, but he'll be playing at first base this game just like he did yesterday. 3 catchers in this starting lineup for the Gatemen tonight. 2 for the Mariners, but one's going to be at DH. So the 2-1 now, and swung on and missed. Strike 2. Count is back even. These two dueling so far. It's 2-2 on Sabol, wearing number 4, but hitting in this 5 spot. Song kicks and fires off speed. Called strike 3 by Ronaldo Cockrum, and Debo will throw it around the infield. 2 up and 2 down so far in the top of the second for Noah Song.
Well, you mentioned Sable playing first base. There's 3 catchers, natural catchers in the lineup tonight. Sable's main thing is athleticism. That's his biggest strength. So Don Snedden can put him at first, put him at third. They're going to do that, rotate all the catchers. So you'll see a lot of names in a lot of different places. Those catchers can be very versatile on this team.
If you're scoring at home, that's the first backwards K of the night. It belongs to Song on Sabol. So the next batter is Andy Shaddid. He takes a ball high. Shaddid 1 for 3 in yesterday's game with a walk. Shaddid, one of the guys who was in preseason training camp and made the roster for the Gatemen. He'll foul this one back. The count goes to 1-1 with 2 outs here in the top of the second. The Gatemen did have a base runner in this game. It was Tanner Dodson. He was the lone one for either team so far. He drew a walk but was out at second on an inning-ending double play by McIver. Here's the 1-1, and this one is called outside and low. It looks like Song is trying to use that sinker effectively early in the count. On deck is John Topa, the UConn star, but right now the 1-1 to Shadid. Fastball swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Debo. Count goes 1-2, and Shaddid will fall behind.
Yeah, Shaddid was fooled there. Nice pitch from Song.
Song trying to get out of this inning now. He'd like to sit down the Gatemen. 1-2-3. Here's the pitch, and this one is low and away in the dirt, trying to fool Shaddid. But it looks like it was a cutter that just got down in the dirt. Shaddid wears number 7, but he will bat 6th tonight. Comes from Bradley, where he had a great season with the Braves. 4 home runs, 29 RBIs. He flies this one out into center field now, and it will fall for a base hit. So the Gatemen have their first base hit of the game, their second base runner, and with 2 outs, it's Andy Shaddid getting his second hit of the season.
Yeah, Shaddid was really successful at Bradley. 2017 All-Missouri Valley Conference. successful as a freshman as well, Louisville slugger, so this guy is going to be key if he can make the full-time roster.
Topa, a full-time roster guy. He was here at the start of training camp, though, which not a lot of the full roster players do. Wanted to get his time in and make sure he was ready for this summer season after playing with UConn. Topa swinging a miss on strike one, and this at-bat is underway between Song and Topa. Runner on base. Topa trying to do something with it. An extra base hit could score. Shatted. He's got some speed over there at first base. Called. Strike two. Clips the outside corner. Topa not exactly happy with the call, but he'll keep his mouth shut. And we will have the 0-2 coming soon from Song coming out of the stretch now. Shatted, not too big of a lead. Could go with 2 strikes. He fakes it. Topa fouls this one off anyway, and we'll redo the 0-2.
Yeah, Topa thought his UConn Huskies would be playing in the NCAA tournament, but to no avail, they did not make the cut.
I thought UConn and Miami would for sure be locks going into conference tournament week, and then we had, as Topa takes a ball on the outside corner, count goes 1-2, but then so many upsets in conference tournament week. So many of those bids were stolen by teams like Iowa out of the Big Ten, Oklahoma State from the Big 12. Didn't have much tournament success. Stole bids from teams who could have done something. Foul ball, it was a tip strike opportunity for Debo, but he can't hang on to strike 3, and it'll go foul behind. So we will do the 1-2 again. Topa's had 2 strikes on him for a while in this at-bat, and he will continue to. As Song just needs 1 pitch to get out of this inning. He comes out of the stretch, steals off speed, and the sinker does not land. So it'll be 2-2 now. Count goes even for Topa. This year at Navy, Song, 13 starts, 3.67 ERA, 6-4 record, 89 impressive strikeouts, and he gets another one right here. John Topa goes down swinging, and that will be the end of the second. It was no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the visiting team, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2017 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Chatham Bars Inn, the Fuller Family Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod Potato Chips, Friendly's Ice Cream, Baseball Factory, Cape and Island License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Stop and Shop, Peapod. We'll be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
0-0 is our score here in the top of the second inning between the Harwich Mariners and the Wareham Gatemen. The Gatemen have the only hit of this game so far. It belongs to Andy Shatted. And now, Justin Montgomery, he deals to Brad Debo, today's catcher, in the cleanup spot for Harwich. And it's ball 1, low. Montgomery kicks now, fires, and this one is low. It gets away from the catcher, Anchia, but it doesn't matter. Nobody's on base. So Debo at NC State this year, a collegiate baseball freshman All-American. He had an outstanding season, hitting .335 with 4 home runs, 43 RBIs. Here's the pitch now, and this one is high, so the count will go 3-0. Debo, he throws with his right arm, but he bats on the left side always. 6'0", 215 pounds. He comes from Durham, North Carolina, the home of the Duke Blue Devils. Decided to go to Raleigh, and he will decide to walk down to first base after holding on the 3-0 count. Montgomery sends his first base runner here in this game. So Debo's on board, and that'll bring up Cameron Simmons, who spent some time with the Harwich Mariners this last season in limited action. He came in for a playoff series against the Chatham Anglers. He had 1 hit in his 1 at-bat and drove in 1 RBI. So Montgomery will face Simmons here. He deals, and it is a called strike, his first of the inning after walking Debo on an 0-4.
Yeah, really excited to see Cameron Simmons play out of Virginia. He's an All-ACC second-team member. Had 995 OPS this season.
Here's the pitch, and it is fouled away, so the count will go 0-2 on Simmons. Simmons, before joining the Mariners last year, played 31 games for the Baltimore Redbirds of the Ripken League. He hit .353, had a home run, 17 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases. Not exactly known for his speed, Simmons, but he does have it. It sneaks up on you if you get him on base. Here's the 0-2. It's called high and outside, so the count goes to 1-2 now to Simmons, wearing number 36 from Springford High School in Royersford, Pennsylvania. Former Pioneer Athletic Conference MVP. Those days are behind him now. He's here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Ball in the dirt, low, and the count will go 2-2. Thankfully for the Gatemen, it's blocked by Anchia, and that will keep the runner Debo on first base. Debo, not many stolen bases in his career, not too much of a threat to run. So we'll have the 2-2 now with no outs. Montgomery sets, fires. This is ground ball to the right side, and it gets through. A diving attempt by Sabol, picked up in the early outfield by the second baseman Lockridge, and that will allow Debo to get all the way to third base. So runners on the corners now with no outs here for the Mariners. Great opportunity for them.
Yeah, that was just out of the outstretched glove of Sable at first base, and that gave Debo an opportunity to head from first to third, no problem standing up, and now his big spot here for Matt Veering.
So a single off to the right side. Sabol, if he was at a normal first base position, he would have gotten it easily, but he was checking on the runner Debo at first base. So runners on the corners now for Montgomery. He didn't let up a base runner in the first inning. Now he has to deal with 2. The first pitch to Matt Veerling, today's left fielder, is low and called for a ball. On deck is Owen Miller, then we'll see Jake Farrell and Justin Novak, then the lineup will flip. Montgomery's hoping that's not going to happen. He can retire a couple of these hitters now. He gets a gift here as Veerling swings on a high fastball, and now the count will go 1-1, wearing number 10 in the 6 hole. Veerling from Notre Dame, member of the Fighting Irish, played in 58 games this year, hit .330 with 7 home runs and 42 RBIs. He also does a little bit of pitching for the Irish. Ball called low, so the count will go 2-1 from Montgomery.
He had 2 saves this past season, but an 8.74 earned run average as a pitcher.
We'll see if the Mariners use him in that light this year. We know Robbie Metz for the Gatemen. He does have the ability to pitch, but last summer we didn't see much of it from him. 2-1 is high to Veerling, and the count goes 3-1. So Montgomery's 1 pitch away from loading the bases here in the bottom of the second. He's trying to avoid that, get 2 strikes or some kind of ground ball out of Veerling. Montgomery sets now. Here's the 3-1. This is high, and Veerling will walk. It loads the bases. No outs here in the bottom of the second. It'll bring up Owen Miller, who's taking his first hacks of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. The Illinois State Redbirds sat out yesterday, and he had a fantastic season. We're going to have a conversation now on the mound. Looks like pitching coach Jim Lawler is talking to Montgomery. What do you think they're discussing here? It doesn't look like anybody's up in the bullpen.
Well, I think the goal here is to get a double play ball, let the run score, and you get 2 outs. You'd obviously have that trade-off as well. But it's going to be interesting to see what Montgomery goes with here, what type of pitches he throws to Owen Miller out of Illinois State, the junior third baseman. Lawler still on the mound talking to him. Now he walks away.
Looks like Ronaldo Cochran wanted to break that up. He does successfully, and Lawler will head back to the dugout. Montgomery's, with all the coaching you can get in this league, you have to do it on the mound yourself. And now Anchia will go out and talk to him. So Montgomery, he is in a tight spot here. Here in 2017. In 2016, the Gatemen had a 3-0-1 record against the Mariners, but whole new players now, and one of The Gatemen's key players, Joey Bart, headed over to the Mariners last season. So here's a called strike to Owen Miller. He had 48 RBIs for Illinois State, as we said before, Jacob, and he had the second most hits in the Missouri Valley Conference with 75. That was good for a .325 batting average. So here's Montgomery. Bases loaded, 0-1. Here's a ground ball to the third base side. It's going to be fair, and on the play from McIver, he throws it home. It prevents a run from coming in. He's out at the plate. So one out there on a high chopper for McIver. He makes a great play to get that ball around the runner, and this game is still scoreless, one out now.
Well, that was a close one, but Ronaldo Cockrum did call him out.
All right, so with one out left, with one out so far in this bottom of the second, Montgomery's got to get two more to get out of this without giving up a run. It'll be Jake Farrell, played for the Martha's Vineyard Sharks, who the Gatemen played a couple weeks ago. He deals to Farrell, and Montgomery's 0-0 is low. Count goes 1-0. So it's Debo on third, Simmons on second, and Vierling on first. Montgomery fires. This is a check swing. Asking for an appeal is Anchia, and the third base umpire Mark Audiovelli says he did go around. So the count now even at 1-1. Good heads-up play by Anchia to make sure that they get the appeal. With his time in the Martha's Vineyard Sharks of the Futures League, Farrell was named an East All-Star, and he takes a called strike now, so the count goes from 1-0 to 1-2 pretty quickly in Montgomery's favor. Montgomery sets, breathes, fires, and strike three. Montgomery sits down Farrell, and he's now one out away from getting out of this bases loaded with no out jam. First, he'll have to go through the Virginia Cavalier, Justin Novak. Novak playing second base today. As a junior with Virginia, 44 games, hit .295, a home run, 14 RBIs. He checks his swing, but most definitely did go around on the 0-0, so the count is 0-1 now. Two outs here for Montgomery. He started this inning issuing a walk, a single, and another walk, but has since gotten two outs. One of them a strikeout and one a fantastic play by the third baseman, McIver. Here's a ground ball to the second baseman. Lockridge on to first. The ball picks it out of the dirt, and Montgomery gets out of the bases loaded with no out jam. He keeps this one alive for the Gatemen. It's still 0-0, so no runs, one hit, and no errors. Three men left on base. You're listening to the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destinations, Robert B.R., Sullivan Tire, Vacation Inn Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Next Radio, Yellow Book, TSA, Rawlings, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, and Axis Bats. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support. Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2017 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, two of America's favorite pastimes. The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm Connor Federico alongside Jacob Toby. 0-0 is our score. Both these teams have one hit, and Robbie Metz is going to step in now. The all-star from last year for the Gatemen. He's back in Wareham, and he takes a called strike here in Harwich from Noah Song. He's dealt two scoreless innings so far, and he'll try to keep that going right now as Metz fouls this one off. Count goes 0-2.
Yeah, Metz struggled yesterday, 0 for 4 with a strikeout, and he's quickly down 0-2 now.
This year with George Washington, hit .339, 32 RBIs, and 13 stolen bases, All-Atlantic second-team selection. He takes a ball high, and the count goes 1-2. So the only hit of this game for the Gatemen belongs to Andy Shadid. That happened in the top of the second. Here in the top of the third, we've got Metz, Fosnot, and Brandon Lockridge. Ball in the dirt now, trying to go sinker, was Song, and the count will go to 2-2.
So Don Sneddon goes George Washington at the end of his lineup.
These two know each other very well, along with Joey Bartosik, who was here last summer and most recently has been drafted. Good lineage of George Washington Colonials here in Wareham. Robbie Metz and Nate Fosnot just writing the most recent chapter. Here's the 2-2, swung on and fouled away by Robbie Metz. And we'll do it again as Metz tries to get his first hit or even first on-base appearance for the Gatemen this season. Here's the 2-2, swung on and hit to the shortstop Minois. On to first just in time to get Metz, so he's 0-5 on the season, and that'll bring up Nate Fosnot with 1 out.
Yeah, Metz still looking for his first hit of the season. It'll come. So versatile and can do so many different things, and Don Sneddon really happy to have him back on the roster.
So 1 out for Song, former perfect game All-California Region honorable mention. 4 years later, as a freshman with Navy, he would go on to be a Louisville Slugger freshman All-American, and he deals a called ball, 1-0, to Nate Fosnot. Along with that Louisville Slugger freshman All-American honor, he received the Patriot League Rookie of the Year award. That was last season, and he deals a ball now, so the count goes to 2-0. In that freshman year, 2.75 ERA in 13 starts, 9-3 record. He deals called strike 1 on the outside corner to Fosnot, wearing number 11 today, and he's in the 9 hole. Fosnot himself, a member of the All-Atlantic 10 rookie team this season, something Robbie Metz did 2 years ago. Fosnot grounds this one to the second baseman Novak. He flips on to first base, and Fosnot's retired. This will bring up the top of the lineup in Brandon Lockridge here with 2 outs.
Yeah, Fosnot, he grounded out, but he finds himself in a similar position as Robbie Metz did last season. Metz coming in as a temporary contract player. Fosnot doing the same, but he'll try to earn his full contract just as Metz did last season.
So Fosnot's 0-1 for the game, 0-1 for the season. This brings up Brandon Lockridge, who flew out to right field his first time around. Here's a called ball, a big breaking ball just around the knees of Lockridge, but it'll be called for a ball. Count is 0-1. Song deals again, working quickly. Here's a fly ball out to left. Looking for it is Bierling. He's in the sun and makes the play to put the Mariners back in the dugout. Song goes 1-2-3 here. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Gatemen. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. But first, Sam Corman with an Around the Cape Cod League update.
In the Cape Cod League, I'm Sam Corbin. An update here in the middle of the 3rd inning in Harwich. The Gatemen and Mariners tied at 0, but around the league, the Cotuit Kettleers leading the Falmouth Commodores 7-0. That is in the 8th inning. Dylan King, the starting pitcher of that game. 4 shutout innings pitched with 7 strikeouts, so Cotuit looking to improve to 2-0, up 7-0 on Falmouth. The Armis-Dennis Red Sox lead the Orleans Firebirds 4-2, knocking up 9 hits in that game. That game is still in the top half of the 8th inning. Orleans trying to mount a comeback with a runner on first and 2 out. In Bourne, the Bourne Braves trail the Chatham Anglers 1-0, trying to get their first win of the season. Chatham with a 1 run on 3 hits, and Bourne yet to mount a hit off Luciani, the Chatham pitcher. And finally, in Hyannis, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, a team that defeated Wareham last night, trailing the Brewster Whitecaps 1-0 in that game. Each team has mounted just 3 hits in that game. Hyannis playing a little bit sloppy with 2 more errors tonight.
Thank you very much, Sam, and we're back with the bottom of the 3rd inning. Justin Montgomery's still out there, and he's been dealing so far for the Gatemen. Had a rough bottom of the 2nd, but not really. It just sort of seemed that way. The bases were loaded pretty much the entirety of the inning, but he gets out clean of that one, Jacob.
Yeah, he's looked really good. mowing down hitters. Now we get to see Montgomery back on the hill for the Gatemen.
And he will face the leadoff hitter, Andrew Moritz, who's 0-1 with a strikeout so far today. Montgomery deals. It's a called strike, according to Ronaldo Cockrum. So we'll do the bottom of the third here. Early in this baseball game, still 0-0 between these two teams from the East and the West Division. Swinging and missing, strike 2, is Moritz. Travis Mignot on deck, and he'll be followed by Joey Bart. Both of those guys are 0-1 on today. Here's the 0-2, called. Ball below the knees. Count will go to 1-2.
Moritz, also, he made SportsCenter top 10 back in March for one of his catches.
Here is the 1-2. Montgomery gets a gift as this one is fouled away, but it was high. So it could have been ball 2, could have been a strikeout, but we'll do the 1-2 again.
Must be cool to be on SportsCenter top 10.
Oh, yeah. Montgomery trying to get a great play for himself right here by striking out Moritz, but this one is fouled away, and we will do the 1-2 for the third time coming up. Moritz from Providence High School in Charlotte, North Carolina. His brother Paul played at Missouri St. Louis. Here's a strike 3 in the dirt, but it gets away from Anchia, and a dropped third strike, rather, Jacob. We won't be saying that a lot this season with the quality of catchers, but it happens right now. Moritz finds his way to first base.
Yeah, nice job there from Moritz to quickly get out of the box, hustle down to first base. That ball bounced all the way to the gravel down the third base line, and you see Moritz get to first, and nice speed there. We'll see if he can get to second with some wheels.
So Moritz has struck out twice in this game in his 2 plate appearances, but he reaches first this time around. Mignot, he also struck out his first go-around, but he takes ball high for his first pitch of this at-bat. Bottom of the third inning between the Wareham Gatemen and the Harwich Mariners from White House Field on Eastern Cape Cod. It's 0-0 so far. Each of these teams have a hit to their names. Here's the 1-0 from Montgomery. It's called for a ball, and the count will go to 2-0.
One thing I'm noticing, both pitchers, Song and Montgomery, they work pretty quickly, which is nice for everyone if you're into pace of play.
Song definitely moves a lot quicker. Montgomery taking his time, but it's worked for him so far. He hasn't given up a run yet. Both of these guys' bodies are similar, as Montgomery throws a ball around eye level of Mignot. So we'll get a 3-0 count, but Montgomery and Song are starting pitchers today. Around 6'5", they both weigh around 200 pounds. They'll both be juniors next year at their respective schools, Navy and Cal Baptist, and they're both right-handers. Here is the 3-0, and it's called fastball strike. So 3-1. Mignot's not down to first base yet, but the lefty will take his hacks, trying to get something for the Mariners at the top of the lineup here. From Palm Desert High School is Mignot, and he'll take the 3-1 here, called for a ball at around eye level, and that'll be a walk issued to Mignot. He'll jog on down to first base. Runners on first and second early in the inning for Montgomery.
It's Montgomery's third walk of his outing. Well, command's starting to become an issue here. We'll see if pitching coach Jim Lawler calls to the bullpen.
Plenty of Gatemen pitchers are available for use. We were talking about it a bit in the pregame. We've got a lot more pitchers than we do position players here in Wareham right now.
18-12.
Yeah. So Montgomery sets. He's still in this game, and he deals to Bart, who fouls this one off to the right side. Count quickly 0-1 in favor of the pitcher wearing 35 in blue, Montgomery. Harwich in their beige to cream-colored white jerseys.
Cream-colored.
Okay, we'll call it cream for tonight. Depends how the light hits it.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the 0-1 swing and a miss from Bart. The count goes 0-2 very quickly. 2 fastballs right there, and Bart can't seem to catch up. We'll see if he goes with a fastball again and let Bart try to hit it, or maybe go off speed and fool him a bit. So the 0-2 is coming up to Bart. He's got 2 runners on base. Moritz reached on a drop third strike. Mignot reached on a walk. Bottom of the third inning, 0-0. And on an 0-2 count, Montgomery gives away a fastball, hits him right in the shoulder. Joey Bart will jog on down to first base. The bases are loaded again for the second straight inning. That one looked like it hurt a bit.
You could see and you could feel the cringeness as we sit here right behind home plate. The crowd also showing some oohs and ahs, but Joey Bart takes it like a man, turns his shoulder like you're taught to do back in Little League, and walks down to first base. He got bases loaded here again for the second time in this game for Montgomery.
Both of these crowds have a liking for Bart. He played with the Gatemen last season, and he's playing with the Mariners now. Neither crowd wanted to see him get pegged in the arm there, especially Montgomery, who had an 0-2 advantage in the count, was one strike away from getting his first out of the inning. Instead, he loads the bases, and 35 in blue will face 35 in white. It's Brad Debo. Here's the 0-0 pitch, and it's called for a strike.
Noah Zavala swarming in the bullpen, pitched yesterday at Hyannis, and we may see him again in back-to-back nights.
Scoreless innings, might I add, in a great outing for the Gatemen pitchers. Fioli struggled in the beginning, but after the first couple of innings, no runs were allowed. The Gatemen, however, failed to score any runs. They dropped that game 3-0. 1-1 to Debo is coming. Montgomery's set. He's got the bases loaded. With runner on third, he's still coming out of the stretch. Montgomery sets, breathes, fires, and this one is fouled away, so he's ahead in the count. He's got a 1-2 advantage over Debo.
And that was the thing last night. Other than the third inning, it was a pretty good baseball game by the defense and the pitchers. It was just the offense that really struggled.
So Montgomery, he's taking the side from Anchia now. He's got a 1-2 count advantage over Debo. This one is just inside. And Debo 6-0, 215. Count is 2-2 now. Here is a foul ball hit by Debo, and we'll do the 2-2 again. Montgomery desperately trying to get this first out of the inning. When the bases were loaded in the second inning, it was a ground ball to McIver by Owen Miller, who was hitting in the 7-hole. He grounded it along the third base line. It was picked up by McIver and flipped to the catcher, Anchia, for the first out of the inning. Montgomery proceeded to get a strikeout, and he gets a strikeout here for the first one of the inning. He sits Debo down with some off-speed action that just clips the bottom half of the strike zone. So Debo is sat down. The cleanup hitter with the bases loaded can't come through, but that'll bring up the 5-hitter. It's Cameron Simmons, who could do the same amount of damage if he gets the bat on the ball.
That's Montgomery's 5th strikeout. Remember, he got that strikeout to Moritz, but Moritz reached on the ball getting away from Anchia.
Right, I was looking for that 5th strikeout in my scorebook, but then I saw it was a drop third strike. So he struck out 2 in this inning, but there's only 1 out. First pitch to Simmons was called for a strike, so Montgomery's got the ball back now. And we're waiting on the 0-1. It's a ground ball to the shortstop. This could be 2 to get him out of the inning. Second on to first in time. It's a 6-4-3 double play by Fosnot, Lockridge, and Sabol, and it gets the Gatemen out of the inning again. So 2 bases loaded jams in back-to-back innings for Montgomery. He gets out of both of them successfully. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
Back in White House Field here in Harwich. It's a beautiful town and a beautiful place, the Cape Cod Baseball League. And we've got a beautiful night of baseball and two great teams going at it. Two great pitchers specifically. Still a 0-0 ball game after 3 innings. 1 hit on each side. Both of those came in the second inning, but neither was able to come around to score. So Noah Song on for his 4th inning of work, and he deals a ball to Tanner Dodson, the first pitch he sees.
Talking to Cam Murphy, who was a scout liaison last year for Wareham. He has some velocities on the 2 pitchers here today. We'll get those in a moment.
Here's a line shot into center field. It's going to be a base hit for Dodson. He's on base for the 2nd time today after walking in the 1st inning. Dodson's aboard with no outs, and the Gatemen are in business here in the top of the 4th.
Song has been sitting between 90 and 93 on his fastball. He hit 94 once, 81 to 84 on his slider. He's been pretty consistent with those 2 pitches.
So Willie McIver's up now, and then it will be Jake Anchia and Blake Sabol, the heart of this order. 3, 4, and 5 are all listed as catchers on this roster. Here's the first pitch to McIver. It's a called strike right at the knees. So Dodson's aboard with a single. He's got some speed over there. 4 stolen bases for the Calabears this year. He's got a good lead over at first. Song deals, and there was no way McIver wanted to go around on that pitch, but he did. Count goes 0-2 in favor of the pitcher Song.
Dodson, the former teammate with Preston Grand Prix, another Cal player who's with Orleans, played for the Wareham Gatemen back in 2015 and last year.
So here he is, the 3rd baseman in this spot. He hits a ground ball to the left side. It's fielded by Miller. On to Novak on a first, and McIver grounds into a 5-4-3 double play. Bases clear for Song, and the Gatemen now have no runners on with 2 outs.
Talking about Tanner Dodson a little bit more, he's used to be playing all of the outfield positions, can pitch as well. Talking to him before the game, he said he played mostly center field for the first 5 weeks. He played every day in center field with Cal, and then he started moving to different positions, so he's very versatile. A lot of versatility on this team. For sure, and now 2 outs for Anchia, who mostly catches. He's been spending a lot of time behind the plate here ever since he got here in the early days of June, trying to make this roster, and he has so far. He's still with the Gatemen. Let's see what he can do here with nobody on. 2 outs against Song. Call balled low. So Anchia evens up the count. Blake Sabol, Andy Shatted, and John Tapa are on deck. Here's the pitch from Song. It's a ground ball to the 3rd base side. Hard hit. Miller to Farrell, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, and no men left on base here after the top of the 4th. Gatemen Baseball on the Baseball Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Back for the bottom of the 4th, I'm Connor Federico alongside Jacob Toby. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. In about an inning, we'll hear from our Claudia Chakamian, who will chat with head coach Don Sneddon about his thoughts on tonight's game. And Sneddon has made his first move in this chess match, 0-0 so far in this game. Joey Matulovic will be the new pitcher. He comes from California with the Bears this year. 12 starts, 17 appearances total, 4.76 ERA, 4-3 record and 45 strikeouts.
Yeah, he sits 87 and 91 on his fastball usually. We'll see what he can do here. And before that, Montgomery was sitting at around 90 with his fastball. He hit 91 once. We'll see what Matulovic can do here out of Cal. 6'3", 203 right-handed pitcher.
So the first batter he'll face, it'll be Matt Vierling.
And the one thing Matulovic needs to work on is his secondary stuff. A lot of scouts saying that it needs to be improved. We'll see if he can work on that here on the Cape.
So we'll see what he gives us early in this outing for him. He comes in the top of the fourth. So Jordan Montgomery, he leaves after 3 innings of work, gives up a couple hits, walks, and hit by pitches, but no runs against his name. The first pitch Matulovic throws is a ball called on the outside corner by Ronaldo Cochran. So Matt Vierling, he walked his first time up and got stranded at second base. That was back in the second inning. Ball 2, called down low. Matulovic looking to throw his first strike against Matt Vierling, who was drafted in the 30th round, 2015 MLB draft by the St. Louis Cardinals. He'll take ball 3 right here. So Matulovic still trying to find the strike zone against Vierling, who was 0 for 5 in yesterday's game against the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, but he did drive in an RBI. Called strike 1, says Ronaldo Cochran. So Matulovic is back in this at-bat. The count is 3-1. Hitters count for Vierling, looking for his first hit of the season, but he will draw a walk and jog on down to first base. So it is another opening base runner in the bottom of an inning for the Mariners, but they still haven't been able to push one across.
That's Vierling's second time on first base. He walked back in the second. See if he can maybe steal a base here against the new pitcher Matulovic.
Miller, the third baseman, he's up. He was the first one that had a bases loaded opportunity. That was back in the bottom of the second, but he hit a high chopper to McIver at third base along the line, and he flipped it to Anchia for the first out of the inning. The Gatemen would later get out of that second with no runs against their names. Here's a pitch, and this one is fouled back right towards our area.
Right towards the crowd mic. You can see it, you can hear it pop every time it rolls right to the backstop.
So Miller, he wears number 8. He's batting in the 7 hole. He'll face Matulovic. Miller with some collegiate baseball experience. Here's a runner going, called strike, down to second base, and he is called out. A runner thrown out by Jake Anchia behind the plate, and suddenly the bases are clear with 1 out after giving up an opening walk to Vierling.
Nice snap throw there from Anchia. Quickly down to second base. It was close, but nice call.
Matulovic was set, but he'll step off now, realizing he can come out of the windup with nobody on. Matulovic, number 6 in blue, deals. This one's a ball, but it gets away from Sabol. Good thing Anchia got that runner going before, or possibly runner Vierling could have been on third base after that one got away from Anchia. Here's the pitch. This one's called for a ball. Matulovic still having trouble finding the strike zone. We've got a 3-1 count against Miller. Matulovic kicks, fires. The 3-1 is called for a ball, and Matulovic deals out his second walk. Guy from Cal, he's in his first appearance with the Wareham Gatemen, and he's issued 2 walks to start the bottom of the 4th inning.
From Northeastern, Jake Farrell.
Now a native, Jake Farrell, will come up. Massachusetts native out of Westwood. He's a Northeastern baseball player.
His freshman year was pretty good for the Huskies. He hit .256 with 2 home runs, 19 RBIs. Limited action his sophomore year, though, and now he's here preparing for his junior year with the Huskies. Pitch from Matulovic was called for strike 1. He sets now, fires again. The 0-1 is low, blocked by Anchia to prevent the runner Miller from going, and the count is 1-1 with 1 out, a runner on first base. 0-0 our score from White House Field. Connor Federico, Jacob Toby, Sam Corman, Matt Feld, and Claudia Chakamian with you for today's game. Here's a swing and a miss. Matulovic finally locating that fastball, and it's got some pop on it. The count is 1-2.
4 Massachusetts natives on this Harwich Mariners team, Farrell included.
So Matulovic deals now to Farrell, the Mass native, and he takes a ball. The count evens at 2-2. Matulovic out of Danville, California, went to San Ramon Valley High School 2015, was an all-state selection. He was named his league MVP. Here's the 2-2, called low. Matulovic and Antia almost thought it was strike 3, but the count will go full. Around the diamond, it's McIver, Fosnot, Lockridge, and Sabol at third to first base. Here's the 3-2, swung on and missed, foul tip, caught by Antia. It's strike 3, and Matulovic gets a strikeout and the second out of this inning.
You talk about Matulovic being his league MVP back in 2015. As a senior, he went 9-1. He struck out 110 batters. This guy can mow people down. We just saw it right there.
Justin Novak will bat now. He's hitting in the 9 spot today. He's wearing number 4. He grounded out to the second baseman, Lockridge, his first time around. And the Virginia Cavalier will take his cuts. He looks at this one, though. It's a breaking ball. Looks like a slurve action, a little bit between a slider and a curveball. And it'll be called strike 1 on the outside corner to Novak.
It's my favorite pitch, the slurve.
It's fun to say, at least.
Exactly.
Here's some off-speed stuff from Matulovic, and it is called up high. So this will be a 1-1 count with 2 outs. The runner on first is Owen Miller. Matulovic deals, and this one is high to Novak, number 6 in blue, facing off with number 4 in cream, we've decided on, our group consensus, the cream-colored jerseys and the red hats and helmets of the Harwich Mariners. They're playing at home tonight. The Gatemen will be back at home for their home opener against Hyannis tomorrow. Here is a called strike, so strike 2 now. We've got even count, 2-2 to Novak. Novak, a smaller strike zone, only stands 5'9", 165 pounds. He'll be a senior next year at UVA. Here's the pitch. This one is fouled off in our direction, but over our heads. So we'll do the 2-2 again. If Novak can get on base here, it'll flip the order for Andrew Moritz, who struck out twice in this game, but has reached once and went all the way around to third base in the 3rd inning after reaching on a drop third strike. Here's the 2-2, fouled again by Novak. So we'll do it again. Matulovic in his first inning on the mound for the Gatemen, trying to get out of this one. He's got this 2-2 count. Novak at the plate, who hit .295 for the Cavaliers in his collegiate season. The 2-2. Matulovic sets, fires, off speed, caught by Antia, strike 3. And a great pitch by Matulovic gets him out of this inning. It's a strikeout, and we will go to break. 0-0, Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Give the gift of life. Donating blood is an easy, quick, safe way to save a life. Blood collected at Cape Cod Healthcare Blood Drives stay on Cape Cod and is used to treat people here. For information on upcoming blood drives, or if your organization is interested in sponsoring a blood drive, visit capecodhealth.org or call 508-862-5278. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
We're back. It's the top of the 5th, and Blake Sabol will lead it off for the Wareham Gatemen. He'll face Noah Song, who's gone 4 innings strong and has given up no runs. Neither pitcher has in this game. It was Justin Montgomery and Joey Matulovic coming into the game now for the Gatemen. But Sabol here He's trying to lead this one off with a base hit for the Gatemen. They did that in the last inning with Tanner Dodson, but was unable to bring him around. Sabol bunts, and it goes foul. So you rarely see that out of a catcher, but Sabol's got some speed. He's been trying to lay down some bunts in the preseason, and now here in the second game of the year against Harwich.
Well, the Gatemen work on it every day in batting practice. They take bunts.
Off speed, and it fooled Sabol. He's down 0-2 in the count now. He was way ahead of that one. No outs here in the top of the fifth. Score 0-0. Connor Federico and Jacob Toby with you on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Thank you for tuning in on this beautiful Thursday night from Harwich, White House Field. 0-2, and it's a called ball high and away, says Ronaldo Cockram. Battle between East and West divisions. We'll only see these two match up 4 times this year. 2 of them will be next Sunday at Spillane Field. We've got a called ball down in the dirt. The catcher, Devo, insisted on a check swing down to third base, but Mark Audiovelli says no way, and the count goes to 2-2. Song now with a solid infield crew behind him. He deals the 2-2 to Sabol. This one is lined out to the left field line. It's fair. Sabol goes the opposite way. He's rounding first, heading for second. Throw in from left field is cut off, and Sabol has a lead-off double for the Gatemen.
Well, he'll love to see that slicing hit down the third baseline, and he knew all the way he was going for 2. He has great speed. He's really athletic. He's at first base today, but so versatile. Blake Sable.
So Sabol calls time, and he gives his stuff to the first base coach for the Gatemen, and that'll bring up Andy Shadid, who had a hit in yesterday's game, and he has a hit in today's game. The Gatemen would like him to figure out a way to move the runner Sabol over to third. At this point in the game, Jacob, you just got to try to get a run on the board.
Exactly. Move him over. And we were talking about bunting before. Maybe it's another situation here with no outs. Push it down the first base line.
Shadid takes a sign, and now he'll step in. Song deals. It's a bunt. He puts it back to the pitcher. Song fields it. This is going to be a tough play. On to first. Not in time. Shadid beats out an infield single, and instead of just sacrificing, he gets it down the first base line. But Shadid's speed enough for his second hit of the day. It's a bunt base hit. Runners on the corners for the Gatemen.
He did exactly what he needed to do. You thought he'd get out? No, he beats it out at first base. So now the Gatemen runners at the corners. That's a perfect scenario if you're head coach Don Snedden. And pregame, you overheard Daryl Maxwell, one of the assistant coaches, talking to Don Snedden, and he asked Snedden, well, how much do they practice bunting at the major league level? And he said, oh, quite a bit.
Here is John Topa. He swings and misses on the first pitch he sees. Topa without an RBI so far this year for the Gatemen. None of the Gatemen have one after they were kept scoreless yesterday at Hyannis. But he is 1 for 3 with a walk yesterday. It's 0-1 in this game, and he pops one up quickly. Topa is down 0-2. He struck out in the second inning. And now you got to think for Topa, if you put the ball in play, you might be scoring a run, which the Gatemen desperately need. If Topa can't do it, Robbie Metz is on deck, and he has plenty of experience driving in runs for the Gatemen. Song deals the 0-2. It is low. Topa decides to hold up. Good idea by him. He won't be fooled by the off speed. Topa with UConn this year, 49 games, hit .267, 12 RBIs, 10 stolen bases. He's got some speed here in the 7-hole. Fly ball to right field. This one is in foul territory, and it will go out of play. Our Claudia Jacamian dancing away from the ball successfully. We'll hear from her after this half inning. She'll be talking with head coach Don Snedden, and we can't wait for that to hear his thoughts on this game. Hopefully he'll be in a happy mood as Topa will try to drive in a run. That always makes coaches happy. Topa will strike out, though. It was a foul tip, and it was caught by the catcher, Debo. So Noah Song has his first out of the inning. This will bring up Robbie Metz.
Well, one thing you know about Don Snedden, he's always happy. He's never that mad.
I mean, that's not what I was saying. I was saying,
No,
hey, you know, you always want to talk to a coach after they've put some runs on the board, or especially when they have a lead.
They're happier.
For all you future broadcasters out there, that is the best time to talk to a coach. Okay, Song. He's got runners on the corner still. The hit and run was on for Robbie Metz. He fouls this away, though, but Shadid was in motion towards second base. So the count will be 0-1 on Metz when Song receives the ball. Shadid tags first, and runners on the corners with an 0-1 count, 1 out here in the 5th inning. After Metz, it'll be Fosnot, and then the top of the order with Lockridge, who's 0 for 2 today. Song deals. Here's the pitch. This one is fouled away by Metz. Song, we've seen him go fastball for most of the game, Jacob, but now with all these runners in score, with this runner in scoring position, another one on first base, it seems like he's decided to go to his sinker and cutter a little more. Not exactly off speed, but something to throw the hitter off. With 2 strikes, here's the pitch to Metz. It's a fastball, and he lines it down into the hole between first and second base. It will score Sabol. Shadid on his way to third. He is safe. And the first run of the game scores for the Gatemen, the first run of their season. Who else would it be but Robbie Metz?
Robbie Metz, the wily veteran for the Wareham Gatemen, goes opposite field, just out of the reach of Justin Novak, the second baseman, and he drives in Blake Sable, and the Gatemen find their first run of the 2017 season.
So the situation is the same. There's 1 out here, runners on the corners. On third, it is Shadid. On first, it is Metz. The batter now is Nate Fosnot, and the Gatemen finally have a lead in this game. It's 1-0. Here's the first pitch to Fosnot. It's called for a ball. Count is 1-0 with 1 out. Robbie Metz comes through for the Gatemen and drives in this game's first run. Wareham has a 1-0 lead. Song deals. Metz was going, the hit and run was on, but it's fouled away by Fosnot.
Well, Metz has wheels, we know that. You saw that last year with the Gatemen, 13 stolen bases. That was 4th in the Cape Cod Baseball League, contributing to his all-star appearance.
Fosnot at the plate. He's also got some speed. He had 9 stolen bases this season for the George Washington Colonials. We talked about the lineage of Colonials here. And Fosnot hits this one into center field. It's over the head of the shortstop, Minot. And it gets into center field. It's a base hit. He moves on to second base, throws to third and second. We're not in time. It's a run-scoring play for Nate Fosnot. He gets his first hit of this Cape Cod Baseball League career. 2-0 Gatemen.
Nice job stretching it into a double. It was close. The throw from the third baseman Miller to Justin Novak at second, it was close, but he got in there. And that will score Andy Shadid. And the Gatemen get 2 runs here, and they're still looking for more with only 1 out.
Number 12.
That was Song's 86th pitch of this game. That's a lot here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Song, he's in the 5th inning now, and he's finally given up some runs. Gatemen took out their starter, Justin Montgomery, before he could let up any runs. So it is a chess match here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Don Sneddon, so far, he's been making the right moves. The Gatemen have a 2-0 lead. First pitch to Brandon Lockridge is high, and the count goes 1-0. Situation here, 1 out, runners on third and second. It's Metz on third, and it is Fosnot on second. Both of those guys have RBIs in this game. The George Washington Colonials have come up big so far for the Gatemen. Swinging and missing is Lockridge. So the count goes to 1-1 now.
Chris Valamont, a pitcher for Harwich, is warming in the bullpen, so this may be the last we see of Noah Song.
Song getting his sign from the catcher Debo. Lockridge swings and misses. That is strike 2. So Song now, he is 1 pitch away from getting the second out of this inning. Sometimes with a good hitter up at the plate, this is a situation where you intentionally walk, but the Harwich dugout has showed they have no intention of giving the Gatemen free base runners. Infield in, here's the pitch. It's a drop third strike, but tagging out the runner Lockridge is Debo. So 2 outs now. Song gets a strikeout. No movement in the Harwich dugout, even though there is action in the bullpen. It looks like they're going to let Noah Song try to finish out this inning. If he wants to get out of it without any more damage, he'll have to go through Tanner Dodson, who's trying to give the Gatemen more than the 2-0 lead they have right now.
That was Song's 4th strikeout. And he retired Lockridge. Lockridge 0 for 3 on the day now.
Tanner Dodson, he hits this ball foul. We've gotten 0-1 count. With 2 outs, runners in scoring position. It is the George Washington Colonials. Metz on third and Fosnot on second. They both have RBIs that scored Blake Sable and Andy Shadid, respectively. 28 in blue, Dodson. He takes a ball low in the dirt.
Talk about these Harwich uniforms. They almost look like throwback uniforms of some sort. We're calling them cream here, but they do with the socks look like throwbacks.
Tanner Dodson, before he even played college ball, he had some experience in collegiate league. He played for the Pacific Union Financial Capitalists. That's quite the name for you.
I was just going to say, that's quite the name.
Yeah. He hit and pitched for them, and he will foul this one off here.
And I have a feeling our good friend Sam Corman loves that name and knew it in the back of his head. But he's looking at me now and saying no, which is interesting because he knows all those names by heart.
The Pacific Union Financial Capitalists of the California Collegiate League. Lots of guys play before they get to their college years. And here's a called ball to Dodson. So we've got a 2-2 count now. Situation is a big one for Dodson and the Gatemen. He's looking to drive in his first run here in Wareham. Here's the pitch, and it is a drop third strike. Nope, it's caught by Debo. So Song gets out of the inning without any more damage, but 2 runs come across to score in the form of Sabol and Shadid. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball.
Welcome back. I'm Claudia Chikami alongside Coach Don. So, Coach, Justin Montgomery, 2 huge back-to-back base-loaded, no-out jams. How important was it for him to get out of those jams with no runs?
Well, it's obviously important jams by not throwing strikes. So, hopefully, if they get hits, I mean, those things happen. But we're throwing too many pitches. So, but it was obviously important to get out of there.
And, you know, you told me earlier today that you can't win the games if you don't score the runs. Now that hits are finally starting to come together, you're scoring the runs. So now how important is it to keep that offensive momentum?
When you can get a run with an out, you have to be able to do that. We didn't do that right there. We could have got 3 runs.
Great. Thank you. Back to you, Connor.
Thank you very much, Claudia. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning now, and thanks to head coach Don Sneddon for giving us the time in this game. I'm Connor Federico alongside Jacob Toby. We're at White House Field here in Harwich. A beautiful night. The sun has started to go down now. Sunset is set for 8:13 tonight, so we still have about 20 minutes until that time.
It's cold.
But until then, it's Andrew Moritz, the leadoff batter. He struck out twice but reached base once on a called third strike, and he will take strike 1 from Matulovic right here.
I'm told by Dodgers scout Cam Murphy that Matulovic sitting at 90 to 91 on his fastball.
So Matulovic, he deals another fastball, and this is called for a strike. The count is 0-2 in favor of the pitcher here.
79 to 81 on his slider, and he threw 1 changeup last inning at 81.
Here's a pitch. It's called inside for a ball, so we will have a 2-2 coming up to Moritz, who bats on the left side but throws with his right. In high school, Louisville Slugger, preseason second-team All-American. He pops this one up in the shallow infield now. Charging on is Lockridge. He calls off the shortstop Fosnot and makes the play for the first out of the inning. This will bring up Travis Munoz, who walked and made it all the way to second, but did not score. In fact, it's the Gatemen who have a 2-0 lead over the home team, the Harwich Mariners. So Matulovic is in after coming in last inning for Justin Montgomery. The chess match so far going in favor of Don Sneddon and the Gatemen. On the Harwich side, they left in Noah Song and paid the price. He gave up 2 runs in the top of the 5th. Batting here in the bottom of the 5th, it's number 5, Travis Munoz, and he takes a ball inside. Matulovic sets, gets his sign from Anchia, deals. This is an off-speed pitch that swung through early and missed by Munoz, who was drafted in the 35th round of the 2015 MLB draft by the Giants, but decided to go to school in Oregon. Since transferred to Orange Coast College, in Orange County, California. Here's the pitch. It's called inside again. So we've got a 3-1 coming to Munoz, who's been on base with a walk, as I mentioned before. He was also one of Justin Montgomery's strikeout victims in the top of the first inning. Here's the 3-1. Fouled back, and the count will go full. Number 6 in blue, Matulovic, is battling with number 5 in cream, Travis Munoz. I'm going to make sure to say that because, I mean, if you're a fan listening at home, you need to know, are they cream? Or what did I say before? Beige. No, you're right. They're definitely cream. All right, the 3-2 from Matulovic. Here's the pitch. Broken bat. This one's looped in the air towards the bull. He gets out of the way of the bat and makes the play in foul territory. Great play there by Blake Sabol, and there's 2 outs in this inning for Matulovic.
A nice broken bat there. And there's an interesting stat about broken bats in the Cape Cod Baseball League. An average of 550 broken bats approximately per season.
That's got to cost a lot of money. That's probably why they come up with that stat.
Exactly.
It's of note. So a player of note, Joey Bart, he'll be coming up. He's in the DH role tonight. He had an 0-2 count from Justin Montgomery on him back in the 3rd inning, but was hit by a pitch up on the arm. Hopefully he's doing okay, and he'll be taking his first swing since that hit by pitch in this at-bat against Matulovic. Here's a ball in the dirt, so the count goes 1-0 in the hitter's favor. Bart, we've mentioned it throughout the broadcast, played with the Gatemen last year. He was a West Division All-Star, but he was good, hitting .318, 2 home runs, 21 RBIs. He hits a fly ball now to center field. It's deep, but ranging back for it is Dodson. He'll make the play, and Matulovic sets down the Mariners 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th. It's 2-0 in favor of the Wareham Gatemen, and you're listening to Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Varitek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball, and you're listening to it on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Wareham has a 2-0 lead over their East Division foe tonight, the Harwich Mariners, and the Mariners have made a pitching change, Jacob Toby. It's going to be Chris Valimont out of Mercyhurst. What do you got?
Chris Valimont, 6'5", 240, so another big pitcher here out of Mercyhurst, one of my favorite names of a college, Mercyhurst. And he had a good year. 11 appearances, started all of those games, 60 in a third innings, a 2.69 ERA, 88 Ks to 41 walks, and his opponent's batting average, second lowest on the team at 183, so it's tough to get a hit against this guy. We'll see if Willie McIver can do that as he's up here for the Gatemen.
Willie McIver, he's hitting in the third hole tonight for the Gatemen, but unfortunately for him and for the team, he's grounded into 2 double plays tonight. In the first, it was a 4-6-3. Most recently, in the fourth, it was a 5-4-3. Tanner Dodson was the runner at second both times. So we'll see Vallemont's first pitch. He comes from Mercyhurst in Erie, Pennsylvania, and he will get a foul ball out of McIver, so he's ahead 0-1. Vallemont went to a Mercyhurst prep in Erie, Pennsylvania, which prepped him, of course, for the Mercyhurst Lakers, where he was a Rawlings first-team All-Region this year. Vallemont, out of the windup, kicks, fires, and this one is just called low to McIver, and the count goes 1-1. Willie McIver, he's played 2 years of collegiate baseball, both of them with the Walla Walla Sweets out of the West Coast League. Here's the pitch, and this one is off speed. Breaking ball low in the dirt. The count goes 2-1. In 2015, McIver hit .215 with 8 RBIs and had 2 stolen bases for the Sweets out of Walla Walla. In 2016, he hit .327, 4 home runs, 33 RBIs, 4 stolen bases. Fouled back again, and this one goes to 2-2 now. So in his time with Walla Walla, Willie McIver for sure improved on those numbers. The Wareham Gatemen are hoping that he will be vastly improving this season and getting them some good playing time at third base, at catcher, at first, whatever he can do to help this Gatemen team win, and he can show off his stuff. So here's the 2-2. Vallemont works slowly, but he deals now. Breaking ball called, strike 3 on the inside corner. McIver knew it, but he was certainly not expecting breaking ball in the strike zone there. He'll sit back down, and it's the first strikeout and the first out of this top of the 6th for Vallemont.
It was a good day, a good couple days for some Harwich Mariners alumni in the MLB draft. 2016 outfielder Pavin Smith went 7th overall to the Diamondbacks, and then their second highest pick, Joe Dunand, went 51st overall to Miami.
So here's Anchia. He grounded out to the second baseman and the third baseman so far in this game. He swings and misses on the first pitch from Vallemont, who stands at a very tall and very big 6'5", 235. Great frame for a pitcher. Wears number 34 in cream against number 16 in blue, the catcher Anchia. Here is a ball in the dirt, and it'll go behind for ball 1. So the count is even at 1-1.
In the 2016 Cape League MVP, Ernie Clement went to the Indians at 132 overall.
All right. So here is the 1-1. And it is swung on and missed by McIver. Fastball, and he can't catch up after seeing some breaking ball action. Count goes to 2-1. You got to think, Jacob, a catcher at the plate right now, he's got experience hitting, pitching. He should know what's going on better than any of the other players out there. Here's the pitch, the 1-2. Nope, he holds up his swing on the ball in dirt, and the count goes to 2-2. Anchia, he knew what that pitch was right away and knew to hold up.
Yeah, those catchers, they're the wily veterans. They're smart. They know what's going on at all times, at all 9 positions. We surely know the pitches.
Yeah, we've mentioned before there are 3 catchers in this lineup today for the Gatemen. Here's the 2-2 to Anchia, called outside ball. So this count will go to 3-2. Anchia fights his way back successfully. So McIver, Anchia, and Sabol are in the heart of this 3-4-5 part of the Gatemen order, each playing third base, catcher, and first respectively. Here's the full count pitch, and it is low and away, and Anchia works himself a walk. First base runner against Vallemont.
One other draft pick that interested me looking at the Harwich Mariners alumni was Austin Falaire. He was a 2016 alum. He's out of MIT, which is a Division III school. He got drafted at 255 by the Cubs. So you see some D3 players getting drafted in the MLB draft.
Well, I mean, when you come to the Cape Cod Baseball League, you certainly have professional potential. There are plenty of scouts here tonight. You said you were talking to a former MLB scout, Liaison. Say that word for me? Liaison. Thank you. I'm never going to say that word again.
Shout out to Cam Murphy.
that are now with the Dodgers and Athletics. So when you come to the Cape Cod Baseball League, you're going to have success no matter what you're doing here. Here's Vallimont. He deals, and this one is stroked out to right field for Sabol. It's a base hit. Rounding second, but deciding to hold up is Anchia. And 2 of the 3 catchers get on base in this part of the top of the 6th. And Sabol makes his way on base, and that'll bring up Andy Shadid.
A nice swing there from Blake Sable. His swing kind of reminds me of former Gateman Gavin Sheets, who got drafted by the White Sox. A nice power swing. He'll pull it a lot of the time, but has the ability to go opposite field. He pulled it there, batting from the left side.
So Sabol's aboard with a single. He has a run scored in this game for the Gatemen. The other belongs to Shadid, who's at the plate right now. 2-0 in favor of Wareham here in Harwich. This West versus East Cape Cod Baseball League battle. Here's a called strike to Shadid. He's shaking his head a bit, but it was most definitely a strike, at least from this angle. Shadid played for the Hayes Larks last year of the Jayhawk League in the Midwest. He played 31 games, had 2 home runs, 18 RBIs, stole 5 bases. Shadid in a big spot here now for the Gatemen of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Here is a high breaking ball. It looks like Vallimont was a bit distracted with the runner Anchia at second base. He's not much of a threat to go. It almost seemed like on that pitch he turned around all the way to second base and brought his body weight back towards the plate to deliver the pitch. So the count is 1-1. Vallimont taking his time now, looking over at second, but neither his shortstop nor his second baseman's there to help. He deals now, and this is a ball low. Count goes 1-1 with 1 out.
Nice shout out from George Washington Baseball on Twitter, saying our middle infield duo of Metz and Fosnot are both playing in the Cape Cod Baseball League for the Wareham Gatemen and doing work. Hashtag raise high.
All right. Just a reminder, you can follow us on Twitter at any time at Wareham Gatemen, also on Instagram and Facebook, SoundCloud, and YouTube. You're on YouTube if you're listening to us right now, and if you scroll down on that YouTube page, you'll be able to see plenty of post-game highlights, analysis, coach and player interviews with our Claudia Chakamian.
The only verified Twitter account in the Cape Cod Baseball League, I believe.
That is very true. I mean, the Cape Cod Baseball League page, that is verified. But we are the only team that's verified. Runners on first and second, 1 out here for Shadid. He swings and drives this one deep to left field. This one is going to land fair. It bounces to the wall. Rounding third and coming for home is Anchia, and the Gatemen have a run courtesy of an RBI double from Andy Shadid.
What a day from Andy Shadid. He's 3 for 3, singled in the second, singled and scored in the 5th, and then an RBI double here in the 6th. Driving in, Jake Anchia, nicely done, nice swing, pulls it to the left outfield, and it drops for the double.
It's a 3-0 lead now for the Wareham Gatemen, but they might not be done in this inning. Quick timeout is called, and it looks like the pitching coach for the Mariners is going to have a talk with Vallimont, who gives up a run in his first inning playing so far for the Mariners. Last summer rather, he was in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League in New York, played with the Jamestown Jammers. 4 starts and appearances, a 1.44 ERA, 1-1 record, 31 strikeouts, including 1 complete game shutout, but there is some action in the bullpen.
It's John Wachowski. He's another one of those hometown kids out of Melrose, Massachusetts, a Boston College pitcher. The other guys that are from Massachusetts, Brian Christian, he's from Plymouth, Mass, out of Northeastern. Teddy Rodliff, he's out of Quincy at Stony Brook. And again, John Wachowski out of Melrose with Jake Farrell out of Westwood.
All right, so a big hit by Shadid. Runners in scoring position now, third and second. Sabol 90 feet away from scoring his second run of this game, and he will. John Tapa strokes a single out to the right field gap, and it's going to score 2 runs. It'll be Sabol and Shadid. They both have their second runs of the game, and it's the 4th and 5th runs for Wareham Gatemen. They lead 5-0.
Andy Shadid coming around to score for the second time. Had the RBI double, then comes around on the 2 RBI single from John Topa. Topa, a lot of success at UConn and continues his success here. We'll see if Robbie Metz can do something He did an RBI single back in the 5th. And now he's got a runner at first base in Topa. Topa's got some speed.
So Topa knocks in both those guys that were in scoring position before. Vallimont has given up 3 runs. He deals. Bunt laid down on the third base line. It's Metz. He's going to beat this one out to first base, says Billy McCollum, the first base umpire. And Metz knew that the defense was not expecting that. They've given up 3 runs in this inning. Morale was already low for the Harwich infield. And now they'll give up another base hit. It's the second bunt base hit of the game for the Gatemen.
Yeah, like I said before, the Gatemen every day work on bunting and batting practice at the cage. Robbie Metz knows it from last year, knows the routine, and does it perfectly there. Beats the throw out. He's got a lot of speed. And George Washington's got to be proud to see their second baseman playing in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
And they'll see their shortstop at the plate right now. It's number 11 in blue, Nate Fosnot, who has an RBI in this game. He has the ability to drive in the second if he wants to. He's got Topa in scoring position, who has plenty of speed. Metz has some speed as well. We've talked about that before. So the score is 5-0, 11 hits in this game for the Gatemen compared to just 1 for Harwich. And the home crowd fans are not too pleased right now with their team. Here is a fly ball out into right field. Could be tagging is Topa on second. He will leave from second and get over to third. And it's going to be a fly out that will put runners on the corners with 2 outs.
It's really tough to see into the foul territory down the first baseline. The dugout covers it from our angle. But it looked like Cameron Simmons went all the way over and made the catch in foul territory to retire Nate Fosnot.
From Troy, Brandon Lockridge.
So Brandon Lockridge is up right now, the Pensacola Catholic High School grad from Pensacola, Florida. Member of 2013 state and national championship team. Was named All-Area his junior and senior years. So here's Lockridge. Vallimont deals, and this one bounces a couple feet before home plate. And Metz takes off and takes second. Delayed steal as a result of the bouncing ball blocked off the protector of Debo, the catcher. So now 2 runners are in scoring positions, 2 outs, and you've got your leadoff guy, Brandon Lockridge, at the plate. Vallimont with runners at third and second. He will work out of the windup now. It's where he's clearly more comfortable. He's going to deal a screaming fastball past Lockridge. He swings and misses for strike 2. Lockridge taking his hacks against Vallimont, who's come into this game and given up 3 runs after 2 runs were given up in the top of the 5th by Noah Song. He grounds this one to the right field side, and it's through the infield. Coming around to score is Topa. Play at the plate, and Metz is safe too. It's a 2 RBI single for Brandon Lockridge, the leadoff man, and the Gatemen have a 7-0 lead on 12 hits in this ballgame.
Welcome to Wareham. Brandon Lockridge drives in a couple more runs, and the Gatemen finding their offense. They had no runs against Hyannis last night, and now the offense breaking out just as we said it would.
Tanner Dodson's the only batter who hasn't hit in this inning, and he won't for a little while. It looks like Harwich is going to make a pitching change. We'll be right back on the home of the Wareham Gatemen, the Gatemen Baseball Network. The pitching change has been made for the Harwich Mariners. You're listening to Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Connor Federico and Jacob Toby with you. We'll have an Around the Cape update from Sam Corman at the end of this half inning, which has gone on for a while now for the Gatemen. They have 5 runs here in the top of the 6th and a 7-0 lead. What have they done successfully to get to this spot that they didn't do last night against Hyannis?
It's simply hit the baseball in fair play with runners in scoring position. They couldn't do it with the bases loaded last night, and multiple runners have been on base for the Gatemen, and they've just done a brilliant job. Brandon Lockridge with that 2 RBI single, another 2 RBI single from John Topa, and just everyone hitting around here. Willie McIver did strike out looking, and Nate Fosnot flew out to right, but other than that, everyone's got a hit, and everyone's just feeling good so far, coming around to score.
Tanner Dodson has a single in this game already. He's 1 for 2 with a walk, and he will face John Witkowski from Boston College. With the Eagles this year, 19 appearances, a 6.06 ERA, 1-1 record, 15 strikeouts. He had a much stronger freshman year. We'll get to that in a sec. Here's a fly ball towards the left field line, and it goes foul. Tanner Dodson, hits the first pitch he sees, almost for a base hit that could have scored Lockridge.
Well, Witkowski struggled with command. The 6.06 ERA, struck out 15, but walked more than he struck out. He walked 19.
So Dodson, will see him now. 49 games for the Cal Bears this year. Hit .297, had 3 home runs, drove in 26 runs, and stole 4 bases. On the mound, Dodson had 7 starts, 19 appearances, 5.37 ERA, 48 strikeouts. Here's a ground ball. This one goes back to the pitcher, and it gets through for a base hit. The hitting streak continues for the Wareham Gatemen, and they've batted around now. Willie McIver led off this inning with a strikeout looking, but he has a chance now with runners in scoring position to extend this lead.
Nicely done there, right up the middle. Dodson gets to first. And it's going to be interesting to see if McIver can get something going. He's 0 for 3 on the day. He's grounded into 2 double plays and struck out looking.
So Tanner Dodson's 2 for 3 on the day with a walk. This is going to be McIver's 4th at-bat, like Jacob just said. And McIver with a runner in scoring position for the first time today. He'll ground this one to the left side. It's picked up by the shortstop. No, it's not. It gets through his glove. Waving home is Lockridge. He will get to the plate safely. It's an RBI base hit for Willie McIver, his first one of this game. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI now, and the Gatemen have an 8-0 lead.
Well, that was stretched just out of the stretch of the glove of the shortstop. And nicely done by this Gatemen lineup. Everyone hitting around. Everyone has a base hit except for Fosnot and Anchia. Anchia walked and Fosnot flew out, but by the looks of what's going on, Fosnot might be able to bat a second time around. That's just a joke, but Anchia will actually get to bat a second time in the inning.
And he's up right here. He was the first run that scored in this inning. He had that walk, like you said, to get that first runner going. Witkowski deals, and this one is in the dirt for a called ball.
Nicely blocked by the catcher, Bradley Debo. That's the second one. If it went to the backstop, it would have moved the runners up a couple spots. He's done a nice job behind the plate.
So we'll see Anchia here. He's got runners on first and second. It was the same situation as McIver just had. Here's a breaking ball, and it's just inside. Almost clipped Anchia, but he gets out of the way. Anchia left yesterday's game with concussion-like symptoms after getting hit with the ball in the 4th inning. But he's starting today, and he looks perfectly fine. He's come around and scored once in this game, once in this inning. The Gatemen have really put a hurting on. They have 6 runs here in the top of the 6th. So Anchia awaiting the pitch from Witkowski, wearing 24 in cream, and this is going to be a foul ball off the bat of Anchia down the third base line towards the Harwich dugout.
Anchia broke the program record at Nova Southeastern for home runs by a freshman. That was previously set by Detroit Tigers All-Star J.D. Martinez in 2007 with 8 home runs as a freshman.
That might have been the tidbit of information I was looking most forward to reading this year, but you beat me to it, so congratulations. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. And Anchia swings and fouls this one off. We'll do the 1-2 again.
When you're a wily veteran like myself,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
you need to beat your partner at these tips of information.
Nova Southeastern, a D2 school, and Anchia was a D2 Coaches Association All-Region second team pick. Hit .326. Those 17 home runs, like Jacob said, broke J.D. Martinez's school freshman year record. That's a lot of home runs for any sort of freshman.
Exactly.
Here's a called ball inside,
And you
so
still,
the count goes full.
you still got to say it, you just weren't first.
Oh, that's why I said it, because I just wanted to.
Get it on tape.
Yeah. All right. So Anchia batting his second time in this inning. Him and McIver are the only ones that have gotten to so far. If he finds a way on base here with the count full, and this one is fouled off his leg, but he's perfectly fine.
Runner's obviously going here in the 3-2 count, so expect that again.
Runners have to touch their bases, and then Witkowski can get going. From Avon Old Farms High School in Connecticut, but a Melrose, Mass native. Went to the same high school as George Springer.
And our own Sam Corman.
Yes. Here's the 3-2 from Witkowski. This one is popped up foul towards our area, and nowhere near us, thankfully.
And of course, George Springer, an alumni of the Gatemen.
Yes. The baseball lineage runs deep through Avon Old Farms High School and the Wareham Gatemen, most obviously. How many draft picks did we have?
Oh,
In the double digits, for sure.
Exactly,
Close
exactly.
to 20. And that tradition has been going strong for many years with the Wareham Gatemen of the Cape Cod Baseball League, who lead 8-0 right now. Runners go 3-2, called inside, and Anchia works a walk. Blake Sable will get his second go-around here in the top of the sixth inning. No action yet in the Harwich bullpen. Witkowski has struggled, but he wasn't the only pitcher who struggled in this top of the sixth inning. Chris Vallimont had a tough go at things.
From Southern Cal.
If my math is correct, 13 chosen in the draft this year. Might have to double check on that with Matt Fell, but believe 13.
All right, so it'll be the second walk of this top of the sixth for Anchia. It loads the bases for Blake Sabol, who had a single his first go-around and came around to score. Sable takes low, called ball one. Anchia, Sabol, Shadid, Tapa, and Metz and Lockridge have all scored the Gatemen's 6th runs in this inning. Total, the Gatemen lead 8-0, and they're out-hitting Harwich 14-1. It's a beautiful night for baseball. The sun has finally set, and it's been a fantastic night for the Wareham Gatemen. Here's a broken bat ground ball to the shortstop. He can't field it correctly, does Munoz, and it will be an infield single for Blake Sabol. He drives in another run, and Gatemen lead 9-0.
Blake Sable putting on a show offensively after he got caught looking back in the second. He's had a double. He went around to score, a single went around to score, and then we'll see how it's scored here, but gets on base.
So we'll see if that is ruled an error or a base hit. We haven't seen on the scoreboard yet what it's been ruled. Some discussion probably going on in the press box for the Harwich Mariners. Still waiting on that scoreboard to change, but while we do, it's Andy Shadid, who has an RBI double in this inning, and he scored 2 total runs, 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. Pitch to Shadid from Witkowski is called for a ball, and time is called. Brad Debo wants to talk to his pitcher, his 3rd one of the night. Neither of them have been successful so far, all of them giving up runs in some form to the Gatemen.
That last play scored a hit for
All
Blake
right.
Sable. So an RBI single.
And the 15th hit of this game for the Wareham Gatemen. They are doing really well what they couldn't yesterday, and that was score runs and get hits with runners in scoring position.
Sounds simple, but that was the only issue.
Right. Pitching has been good both nights. Here is a fly ball out to center field. Moritz is under it, and that will finally be the 3rd out of the top of the 6th inning. It's an 11-0 lead on 9 runs in the top of the 6th for the Wareham Gatemen. We will go to Sam Corman with an Around the Cape League update. Sam.
Well, Connor, I was waiting quite a while to go to this game break, but the Katuitt Kettleers improved to 2-0 after a 10-0 victory over the Falmouth Commodores. That one in 8 innings. Griffin Canine, Glenn Martinelli, Aiko Thomas, and John Cresto, all with multi-RBI games for the Katuitt Kettleers. In Orleans, the YD Red Sox defeat the Orleans Firebirds 4-2. Carter Ferris of the Red Sox at the University of Alabama Birmingham goes 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. In Chatham, the Bourne Braves lead the Chatham Anglers 4-2. Excuse me. That game now in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And in in Hyannis, the Brewster Whitecaps lead the Hyannis Harbor Hawks by a score of 6-0. And their starting pitcher, J.D. McDermott, with 5 shutout innings, allowing 3 hits and 4 strikeouts for the Whitecaps. Back to you, Connor.
Thank you very much, Sam. What a top of the 6th inning for the Wareham Gatemen. I'm Connor Federico. You've been listening to Jacob Toby and I all night. Sam Corman with that Cape League update. And Claudia Chakamian had an interview with Coach Don Sneddon in the 5th inning. Jacob, we talked about how coaches are happier when they're given interviews when lots of runs are scored. If only Claudia had been talking to Coach Don Sneddon this mid-6th inning instead of the mid-5th.
Yeah, that was an absolute onslaught of runs. 9 runs on 8 hits, and they still left the bases loaded. That's the thing. There could have been more.
Well, if the Mariners somehow make a comeback in the game, we'll make sure that that'll be a talking point of ours. But for now, Brad Debo steps in. He'll take a cut at the first pitch he sees and fouls it away. Bottom of the 6th, Gatemen lead 11-0. It's a beautiful day for baseball in White House Field in Harwich, but the home fans are not very pleased with their performance so far. Here's the pitch from Matulovic. He takes called strike, does Brad Debo. Matulovic in his 3rd inning of work, wearing number 6 in blue. So if he gets through this inning successfully, he'll do the exact same thing that Justin Montgomery did. He was the starter in this game, and that would be pitch 3 scoreless innings. Matulovic has done it with a bit more ease than Montgomery did, though. Fouled away by Debo, and he has 2 strikes on him now. Coming out of high school, he was ranked the 106th best prospect in America in the 2016 draft. That was according to Baseball America. He was a Louisville Slugger first-team All-American his senior year of high school. Orange. He lines this one down the first base line. Fair. It's going to be a base hit. Probably stretching it for more. Debo steps on first, rounding for second. He's going to hold up there. The throw from Shadid is not in time, and Debo is up with a stand-up double to lead off this bottom of the 6th.
Talk about a rocket. That was ripped down the first base line all the way. That was going to be a base hit, and he turns it into an extra base hit with the double, leadoff double with Cameron Simmons out of Virginia coming up next.
The score is 9-0, not 11-0. I have to apologize for misspeaking just a few minutes ago. Gatemen put together a 7-run top of the 6th, and time's going to be called as Anchia wants to talk to his pitcher, Matulovic, make sure that there's absolutely no way the Mariners get back in this game. So Cameron Simmons is batting now. The Virginia Cavalier, one of 2 in this lineup. This sophomore year, hit .352 in 58 games with 9 home runs, 57 RBIs. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop now. Fosnot's going to flip it on a third base. Debo just took off without any regard for what the shortstop might do, and it was an easy play out at third base, and Debo is no longer in scoring position because he is heading back to the dugout. 1 out.
Number 10, the left fielder.
So Simmons reaches on a fielder's choice. He'll be on first base now. Matulovic here, he's got 1 out. And Simmons at first. It's going to be Vierling here. Matulovic sets, fires, and called ball on the outside corner. Ronaldo Cochran, Billy McCullum, Mark Audio Vianelli have been calling a good game, our umpires tonight. 9 runs, 15 hits for the Gatemen, the visiting team tonight. Home team Harwich, 2 hits. And it's going to be a called ball outside from Matulovic. So the count goes to 2-0 on Vierling, who was ranked the #1 player in Missouri by Prep Baseball Report coming out of high school, Christian Brothers College High School in St. Louis, Missouri. He'll take a called strike. Count goes 2-1. Elected to go to Notre Dame, so has been going to private Christian high schools for the entirety of his academic career. Christian Brothers and Notre Dame. Matulovic's pitch is fouled off, and we heard the pop right there. Not near us, but near one of our mics we've got set up to make sure you, the fans, have a great access to all the sounds from the ballpark tonight. Just an audio broadcast tonight, our second of 22 this season. Tomorrow, you can catch the live stream on YouTube. It's going to be against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as a called strike 3, low and away, hitting the plate, and Vierling is sent down. So Matulovic has 2 outs now. As I was saying before, Jacob, we've got a game tomorrow. It's going to be at Spillane Field. We'll have full video and audio, and you and I will be on that one for this live stream. Sam Corman will be on our local television channel. Here's the pitch, broken bat. This one is fielded by Matulovic, ranging to his right, throwing on a first. Sabol stretches, and the play is in time. So at the end of the inning, it's 1 hit, no runs, no errors for the Mariners here at White House Field. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball.
The Down East Lobster Roll combos are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
White House Field, where the Wareham Gatemen have a 9-0 lead over the home team, the Harwich Mariners. It's been a fun night for Gatemen fans, and we thank you for listening very much to tonight's broadcast on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Connor Federico, Jacob Toby with you. It's been a fun one for the Gatemen, and John Topa steps in now, looking to start something here in the top of the 7th. Topa 6'0", 225 pounds. Bats right, throws right. He'll be a junior next year at UConn. He's got 2 RBIs in this one already. Came around to score himself. He'll foul this one back.
Although Mason Fioli struggled in his first appearance with the Gatemen, UConn fans have to be happy. They've got a bright future. Fioli only a freshman this past season. John Topa is going to be a junior, so they've got some pretty good players coming back for their respective years.
And Sam Nepiarski, who's on this roster, we have yet to see him. He might pitch tonight as Topa fouls this one back. So a whole contingent of UConn players here. Nepiarski, he'll be a redshirt senior with the Huskies next year. We've been talking about Harwich's Northeastern Huskies. Gatemen, on the other hand, have plenty of UConn Huskies. Topa hits a foul ball off to the right-hand side, and this one is going to go foul out of play. So Topa's fighting with 2 strikes. Mentioned his sophomore year stats before, but his freshman year stats were equally as good. 49 games, the same as his sophomore year, but he hit .303, had a home run, 23 RBIs. The only number that decreased from freshman to sophomore year, or increased rather, he went from 7 stolen bases to 10 stolen bases. Topa takes a ball in the dirt. After Topa, it'll be Metz on deck and then Fosnot. We'll see if Coach Don Sneddon wants to make any moves. Witkowski sets, fires. This is a ground ball fielded on a one-hop by the second baseman Novak on to first and picked out of the dirt by Farrell in time. Farrell, one of those Northeastern guys I was talking about. I mean, Jacob, you got to tell me, I was talking about the Northeastern Huskies and the Yukon Huskies. Is New England known for its Huskies, or am I missing something?
It may be known for its dogs, Huskies or Wolves, if you say, I guess. But dogs come from Wolves, so that makes sense. I'm not really sure. Not really sure where I'm going with this.
Okay. I mean, I'm just asking a question. Witkowski fires and deals to Metz, who swings and misses. Count 0-1 in the pitcher's favor. Metz has 2 singles in this game, 1 run and 1 RBI. The run he batted in came in the 5th. The run he scored came in the 6th. Metz takes a called strike now, and he's quickly behind in the count. We talked about him as a hitting and pitching threat years ago in high school. Hit .462 at shortstop while pitching with a .15 ERA. He grounds this one to the right side now. Fielded by the first baseman. He'll throw it to Witkowski at first, and Metz is retired. It's hard to retire Metz. That's only the second time that these Harwich pitchers have done it tonight. Metz is 2 for 4.
And when Metz was up for the draft this year, unfortunately did not get the call. Next year he will be up as well. And if he does get drafted, a team will have to decide a position to name him. They've got 9 to choose from.
We've seen lots of prospects like that over the years. As Nate Fosnot, his George Washington counterpart, steps in and he takes a called strike. Fosnot, broken bat to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Novak on to first. Just in time getting back to the bag is Farrell, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Harwich, their first one in a while. It's a 0 on the board for the Gatemen in the top of the 7th. We'll be right back.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Cape Cod Healthcare now offers Cape Cod residents and visitors convenient urgent medical care by emergency room trained physicians at the Fontaine Outpatient Center in Harwich and the Stoneman Outpatient Center in Sandwich. For sore throats and coughs, x-rays and splinting, suturing of lacerations, and much, much more, come to the Stoneman Outpatient Center at 2 Jan Sebastian Drive, just off of Exit 2 in Sandwich, or the Fontaine Outpatient Center at 525 Long Pond Drive, just off Exit 11 in Harwich. Both have extended evening and weekend hours, and both centers are staffed by emergency room physicians. No appointment or referral is necessary. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. It's the bottom of the 7th. The Gatemen lead 9-0. They have 14 hits in this ball game. And Wareham is trying to close this one out. Joey Matulovic, he will be on to pitch his 4th inning of work from the mound here in White House Field. It's a beautiful setting for baseball and plenty of fans here, even though Harwich is down big. Here is a swing and a miss by Jake Farrell. Farrell from Xavier Brothers Academy, Westwood, Mass. Northeastern Husky, as we talked about before. And this is going to be a ball in the dirt from Matulovic, who hails from Cal, the Bears. Matulovic had an outstanding freshman season last year. 21 relief appearances, 2 starts with 19 relief appearances. 2.49 ERA, 1-1 record. Here's a foul ball to the left side in the Harwich dugout. Everybody's fine.
That ERA was second on the team his freshman season.
And so far, he's leading the Gatemen, or at least tied with the Gatemen, with a 0.00 ERA.
Aren't they all almost?
This is going to be a called ball inside. You know, you got to give credit to Justin Montgomery early in this game. He loaded the bases twice with no outs, put himself in a jam, somehow worked his way out of it with the help of fantastic pitching, and his infielders gave him plenty of help. One was ended by a 6-4-3 double play. The other was helped out by Willie McIver, who made a fantastic play along the third base line. Here's a ground ball to the first base line now. It's picked up, and stepping on the bag is Sable, and that'll be the first out of the inning. But going back to Justin Montgomery, he could have let this game get away from the Gatemen early. Instead, he hangs on, put zeros on the board in those first couple of innings, got his pitch count up, and got taken out of the game in the fourth. But maybe if the Mariners put those runs on the board instead of the Gatemen, we're talking about a different ball game, and maybe with the momentum, it goes in Harwich's favor as Matulovic throws a ball.
Yeah, he started off fairly well, but then he finished fairly well, and it was good to see he had 5 strikeouts overall, and command got there as the game went on.
Here's a called strike to Justin Novak, senior next year, class of 2018. The American School is where he hails from, in Tokyo, Japan. And he takes a called strike now. 4-time Kanto Plains All-Star, which is the equivalent of All-League. He won 2 Pacific Far East titles in his time with the American School in Tokyo. And he swings and misses through this one. Matulovic sits him down on 4 pitches, and he's got his second out of the inning.
That's Matulovic's 4th strikeout. Wheeling and dealing, you could say, is Matulovic. Swing and a miss there.
The center fielder, number 6, from UNC.
So the order flips now. It's Andrew
Moritz.
Moritz. He's wearing number 6 and batting first in this lineup. He's 0 for 3 today, but reached base on a drop third strike earlier. Matulovic steals, called strike to Moritz. So here in the top of the 7th, bottom of the 7th rather, 2 outs, no men on. Moritz fouls this one off. On deck is Munoz. He's 0 for 2 in this game with a walk, as Moritz fouls this one off. The Gatemen and Matulovic hoping that Munoz doesn't have to come up to the plate in this game. Moritz has 2 strikes on him now, does the center fielder. Has a couple of putouts in this game. Deep to center field. He's been ranging back there. Looks like he knows this center field very well here at White House, and this is going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher. Matulovic flips it on a first to Sabol, and that will end the inning. 1-2-3. Matulovic retires the side in his 4th inning of work. It's 9-0 for the Gatemen. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Fans, it's time to get out your 50-50.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
Give the gift of life. Donating blood is an easy, quick, safe way to save a life. Blood collected at Cape Cod Healthcare blood drives stay on Cape Cod and is used to treat people here. For information on upcoming blood drives, or if your organization is interested in sponsoring a blood drive, visit capecodhealth.org or call 508-862-5278. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
We're through 7 innings and now in the top of the 8th here at White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts. A beautiful night for baseball. It's a little chilly though, Jacob. You've put your jacket on, but I insist on playing it out. We've got these beautiful Gatemen polos. We've got to make sure we're wearing them. Here is the first pitch to Brandon Lockridge, the leadoff man for the Gatemen. He is 1 for 4, rather, and has 2 RBIs and has scored a run at that leadoff spot for the Gatemen. Early in the season, 2 games and a 2-game hitting streak Lockridge has that he'll carry into tomorrow's game at the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, our home opener, complete with audio and video you can watch right here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, thanks to YouTube. Here's a pitch that runs inside on Lockridge and hits him, bounce off his chest. He's perfectly fine, though. He jogs on down to first base, gets a little fist bump, and he's not even rubbing it. He feels fine. He's on base now. The leadoff man gets on board.
That is one of the reasons why I find myself on the opposite side of the fence. I was very scared of the baseball getting hit and could not do it, so I then put my talents to the broadcast booth, but nice job there taking it all the way, Brandon Lockridge.
Batting now is Tanner Dodson. No, it looks like we will have a substitution. Garrett Zek comes in for Tanner Dodson. They both play center field, so that'll be an easy switch to make for Don Sneddon. Zek wearing 13 in blue. He's taking his first hacks of this game. Came in as a pinch hitter yesterday. He'll foul this one back.
He's out of South Florida, 6'1", 202. He's a Naples native.
And now he's got a runner on. First base, it's Lockridge with no outs. Here's the pitch to Zek. He swings through it and misses. Little off-speed stuff. It fools Zek in his first at-bat of the game.
Played 60 games with South Florida, 260, 1 homer, 14 runs batted in. Did strike out 60 times.
So Zek stands in now. Here's the pitch from Witkowski. It's a broken bat shot to the first baseman. Picking it up is Farrell, throwing on to second, in time for 1, on to first. The relay is not in time. So Zek trades positions with Lockridge. He'll go back to the bench, and Zek reaches on a broken bat fielder's choice to the first baseman.
Zach was also selected in the 15th round of the MLB draft in 2015 by the Dodgers. He's had a lot of success in his career so far in baseball. All-conference, team MVP, player of the year. Senior year, he hit .543 with 10 triples, 4 homers, 30 RBIs.
So no substitution here for Willie McIver. He's going to stand in. We talked about earlier in the game, he grounded into 2 double plays, and then he shut us up right away with an RBI single. So he is 1 for 4 tonight. After McIver, it's Anchia and Sabol, who have both had fantastic nights. And then after that, Shatted, Sabol and Shatted, and either one of them in line for the player of the game. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop, fielded and thrown to second. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play, an outstanding flash of the glove by Travis Munoz. So it's going to be no hits, no runs, and no errors for the Wareham Gatemen in the top of the 8th. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
It's the top of the 8th here at White House Field. It's a pitching change for the Wareham Gatemen. Don Snedden's going to make the move. Sam Nepiarski from UConn is going to step up on the mound. He'll replace Joey Matulovic, who went 4 innings. He pitched the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, all scoreless. And Nepiarski possibly coming in for an inning of work, maybe 2, trying to get a 6-out save. Not a save situation, Jacob, because the Gatemen have been hitting so darn well today.
Yeah, they have. The offense just on another level than it was a night ago. 9 runs, 15 hits. The defense, no errors like there were last night. There were 2 errors. It's just been a completely different night. Like you said, Don Snedden probably a little bit happier in his post-game interview. We'll see, though. Sam
Nepiarski played last year for the New Bedford Bay Sox with 8 starts with them, had a 2.18 ERA, 4-1 record, 38 strikeouts. He had the opportunity to pitch against them last Saturday when we were in New Bedford at the beautiful Paul Walsh Field. And Nepiarski now stands 6'3", 205 with the UConn Huskies. He's that 3rd member of the Huskies we were talking about that's playing for the Gatemen this summer.
Remaining in the game.
We have a defensive substitution. Ben Baird is at 3rd base. He wears number 3. So Willie McIver's going to move to catcher, and Jake Anchia is going to be taken out of the game.
Number 5, Travis Munoz.
So Travis Munoz up now from Orange Coast College. The Pirates comes from Palm Desert High School in Indio, California. He'll face Nepiarski, who's a Amity High School grad of Orange, Connecticut. Nepiarski sets. He comes out of the windup now, deals, and this one's going to be popped up immediately between the second baseman and right fielder. Under it is Shadded, and he puts it away. Shadded has a fantastic game so far at the plate, and he just retires the first one of the top of the 8th here.
And talking about Nepiarski and the UConn players here in general, it's going to be a good year for UConn next year.
Number 25,
pitching in the Futures Collegiate Baseball League in 2014 in the summer. He was an all-star with the Nashua Silver Knights.
Plenty of Collegiate League experience does Nepiarski, and now he will face Joey Bart, who has a year of experience in the Cape Cod Baseball League under his belt, the DH today, former player for the Wareham Gatemen. His Mariners are losing 9-0 right now to the Gatemen. And Bart, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, this year was a Johnny Bench Award semifinalist and All-ACC second team. 44 games for the Yellow Jackets, hit .296, 13 home runs, 43 RBIs, and an impressive .575 slugging percentage. Time is called by Bart. Nepiarski, his rhythm a bit thrown off, but he doesn't look rattled at all. He'll take the sign now from McIver, who's finally getting some time behind the plate. Nepiarski out of the windup, kicks, fires. This one is swung on and missed by Bart, and that is going to be a 1-1 count now after this one. Bart, his father Thomas, played baseball at Miami and Penn State. His brother Mikey is a linebacker for the Arizona Cardinals. He spent 4 years as a defensive end at UNC, so a bit of an ACC rivalry between the two brothers, Mikey and Joey Bart. Here's a called second strike from Nepiarski, and he's dealing right now with a 9-0 lead. For pitchers, it's always nice to have a bit of a lead to work with. Let alone one this big.
The pressure is off a little bit. Still put your work in, though. Hit your spots and still focus in on the game. The game's still not over. We've seen it miraculous times. There's a comeback happening.
Nepiarski out of the windup. The 1-2. This is called a ball on the outside, and the count will go 2-2. Close pitch from Nepiarski. He's focused plenty right now. He's pitching for the first time in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Native of Orange, Connecticut, as we said before, so he's familiar with this area here in New England, knows the weather well, and he's pitching in a bit of cold weather right now as the sun's gone down here at White House Field in Harwich. Here's the pitch off speed. Nepiarski fooled Bart, and he'll sit him down for the second out of the inning, Nepiarski's first strikeout.
Nice off-speed pitch, fooling the former Gateman Joey Bart. Quick 2 outs here in the 8th inning, and Bradley Debo will come in.
From North Carolina State,
So we'll see the
Debo.
second of 3 catchers on this Harwich roster. The first was Bart, who's DHing tonight. We just saw him strike out. Now it's Debo. The third is Nick D'Alessandro. As Debo cuts through this one. We haven't seen D'Alessandro tonight. But we know he's got some skill. He played with Harwich last summer and had a tremendous season at 247, had 6 RBIs. Not a tremendous regular season, but a tremendous postseason. Hit .333 with a grand slam in the playoff series loss to Chatham. Nepiarski deals now to Debo, and this one is a called ball inside. Debo, 6'0", 215, bats on the left side, but throws with his right arm, as nearly every catcher I've ever seen in the game of baseball does. Nepiarski deals. Debo takes a big cut and misses, can't catch up to the fastball. Nepiarski doing a very good job of working in his off-speed pitch and then fooling hitters with the fastball. So we'll see what Sam Nepiarski, wearing 32 in blue, gives here to Brad Debo. One more pitch, and they're out of the top of the 8th. Nepiarski now kicks, fires. This is a broken bat, ground ball to Sabol at first. He'll take it himself, step on the bag, and that is the end of the inning. No hits, no runs, no errors. It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball. They've got a 9-0 lead on the home, the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student-athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student-athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent-care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent-care.
The top of the 9th, the Wareham Gatemen have a chance to get their first win of the season here at White House Field. Traveled all the way, about an hour away, to Harwich to face the Mariners. Both these teams have formidable lineups and great pitching, but the Gatemen hitters, Jacob, Toby, they've gotten the better of these Harwich pitchers tonight.
The hot bats are out at White House Field tonight. Andy Shattuck had himself a night. He's 3 for 4. An RBI double. He's came around to score twice. 2 singles, and Blake Sable also has had a stellar night. He's also 3 for 4. He's got a double, came around to score twice. RBI single, and the bats, they're sizzling hot right now.
Oh, I like that. Well, Ben Baird, he hasn't had an at-bat in this game yet, but he started yesterday at Hyannis, didn't do all that much. But today he's come in as a defensive replacement. He went to third base, but he's taking Jake Ancia's spot in the lineup when they flipped Ancia for Baird. McIver came home to catch. So it's Witkowski now. He's gonna take his 3rd inning on the mound here. Came in relief of Chris Vallimont, who gave up the majority of these runs to the Gatemen hitters. Top of the 9th, first pitch to Baird is called a ball, low, and it's going to scuffle past the catcher, Debo. Ancia had a walk, 2 walks, and scored a run in this game. He's been replaced by Baird, and Witkowski throws a ball in the dirt, called ball 2.
There have been an enormous amount of baseballs that have hit the backstop tonight, more than I've remembered from years past. I will say that. Ball's getting out of the mitt tonight.
So here is Witkowski. This is going to be a ball. Nope, it's going to be a called strike, but the pitch was low, but it's hung on to this time by Debo. So the count goes to 2-1. Ronaldo Cochran throwing it up for all the fans and players to see here. 2-1. This is lined back towards the pitcher and a base hit into center field by Ben Baird. He's aboard, and the Gatemen have their 15th hit of the day, courtesy of the defensive replacement from the University of Washington.
Well, you mentioned the umpires. It's not just the players and it's not just the broadcasters that maybe want to make it to the professional level. It's also the umpires. If there's some young guys in here trying to work their way up and get themselves in collegiate baseball. Tom Carey, the home plate umpire from last night's game, he's a young kid. He's definitely going to try to go into professional baseball at some point, and the Cape League helps with that.
Blake Sabol bats now. He's going to foul this one off, so no work for our umpire Ronaldo Cochran here. Sabol, coming out of high school, Aliso Viejo, California, went to Aliso Niguel High School. He was ranked the 23rd best player in his class by Max Preps. That's in the country. Was ranked the number 7 catcher in the country by Perfect Game, and he lines this one straight to the shortstop. It's Mignot making the play. He throws on a first, not in time to get Baird. He was very aware of the situation, and he scampers back to first with 1 out. Here comes Shadid, possible player of the game material. It's either him or Sabol at this point, but Sabol just lined out, so we'll see.
It's a battle right now.
It's a battle right now. Neither one of them really know that it's going on, but to us it's important. Who is Claudia Chikamian going to interview after this game? Shadid, check swing. Yes, he did go, says home plate umpire Ronaldo Cochran. Didn't need any help there.
Which you can find after the game on YouTube, as well as our post-game show. Have all the interviews, as well as Don Snedden's interview post-game.
Which he will be very happy. He will be very happy. Here's a pitch, and it is a ball low to Shadid, wearing number 7 in blue. A guy we talked about a little earlier in the broadcast who didn't know how long he was going to be here with the Gatemen. Maybe still doesn't, not on a full contract yet, but his performance tonight might have earned him a spot. What do you think?
I think it may.
Shadid swings and misses. Now, neither one of us are the coaching staff of the Gatemen, but
No.
We can make suggestions at least.
Suggestions, yes. They will never be listened to. I will say that. It is above my pay grade by very much to be making baseball decisions.
So here's Witkowski. He deals, and Shadid swings and misses. Strike 3, so that player of the game battle still going on between Shadid and Sabol. John Topa will step up now.
Topa is 1 for 4 on the day. He struck out twice, but he had the 2 RBI single back in his 6th inning. Part of the 7-run 6th inning. He got it started.
He's a guy that'll have a 2-game hitting streak going into tomorrow's game at Hyannis. Had a base hit yesterday. Check swing. No, he did not go. Debo asks for an appeal. Billy McCullum says, no, sir, he did not. On deck is Robbie Metz. He's had a fantastic day as well. The leader of this Gatemen team. Plenty of experience. Witkowski checking the sign, now checking the runner at first base. Looks at the plate, deals. This one is fouled away by Topa, out of play. So Topa, if he gets out here, will most likely be the last hitter that we see tonight from the Gatemen. It was a show by... Not that it's over, but it has been a show by both the offense and the defense tonight for Wareham. Here's a ball, and it's dealt high to Topa. The count goes 2-2. Topa, the left fielder tonight from UConn. John Topa in high school, Bishop Hendricken. He'll ground this one to the shortstop. He'll go the short way to Novak, and that will be the end of the inning and possibly the end of the Gatemen offense for this game. They lead 9-0. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth, see if Wareham can close it out and get a win. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Bottom of the ninth, White House Field in Harwich. It's been a beautiful night for baseball and a great game of baseball for the Wareham Gatemen. They lead 9-0, and we are in the last inning of this game. There's going to be one more pitching change for the Gatemen, courtesy of Jim Lawler and Don Sneddon. It's going to be Frank German, 6'2", 195, the righty. What do you have on him, Jacob?
Well, he's, again, a big guy, 6'1", 195, out of North Florida, and not really a lot known about him. It's, again, a temp contract player, so we'll see what happens here in this ninth inning. It's be important for him.
This will be a good time for the coaching staff to get him in the game. Gatemen lead pretty much untouchable at this point. Cameron Simmons is the leadoff man for Harwich, and he'll need to start a rally of 9 runs or more to make a comeback in this game against the Gatemen. Simmons will step out before German can throw his first pitch. It was 2 runs in the 5th and 7 runs in the 6th for the Gatemen. All the other blocks of this scoreboard have been scoreless. Called ball in the dirt, and Willie McIver, after the first pitch from German, wants to go talk to him quickly. With North Florida this year, German, 14 appearances, all of relief, 2.43 ERA, an 8-1 record, 76 strikeouts. That's how you get a tryout with the Wareham Gatemen, and he has been pitching very well so far. That's why he's still here and could be for the remainder of the season. So German kicks, fires. This is going to be a foul ball out of play. Count is even at 1-1. Simmons, as we've mentioned before, from the Virginia Cavaliers. We said he had an outstanding sophomore season, all-ACC second team, as he takes a ball down low. His freshman year was pretty good, too. 50 games, hit .261, 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. He's trying to get something started now for Harwich. Harwich is having the same problem that the Gatemen had yesterday.
Exactly.
And Harwich wasn't shut out the other day. They took the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox to 10 innings. The score was 2-2 after 9, and then Yarmouth Dennis put 2 more runs in the top of the 10th, and then Harwich was unable to answer in the bottom frame of that inning. As German deals, and this one is fouled back. He's fighting with 2 strikes right now.
Joey Bart had an RBI yesterday back in the 3rd inning.
So 2 really good teams, but they are both 0-1 on the season. Gatemen, if the result holds, will move to 1-1.
Someone's got to win.
Right. German deals. This is a strike 3. Swinging through an off-speed pitch is Simmons, and German sits down the first batter he faces.
Yeah, German, like you said, Connor, 76 strikeouts to 25 walks, a filthy 3.04 strikeout to walk ratio.
From Notre Dame,
just filthy.
Matt Vierling.
Vierling steps in now. He's had 2 walks, was caught stealing, and had a strikeout looking in his previous go-arounds. Those came in the 2nd, 4th, and 6th innings, respectively. He'll walk to the plate in the top of the 9th now. Bottom of the 9th, rather, and takes a called strike from German. So Simmons strikes out. Vierling is trying to avoid doing the same. Harwich wants to make a comeback in this game. They're going to need to get base runners slowly but surely. Here's a ground ball. It goes straight back to the pitcher. German should be an easy play. Underhand toss to Sabol. Second out of the inning, and the Gatemen are 1 away from winning their first game of the season here in Harwich.
Number 8, the third baseman, Owen Miller.
So Owen Miller steps up. He is the last batter remaining between the Gatemen victory and the bottom of the ninth. Here's a called ball low. Miller today grounded out to the third baseman McIver, who's now catching. But Miller was up in a critical spot in that bottom of the second inning where Harwich had three runners on, bases loaded, and Miller hit a dink to the third baseman McIver, who tossed it to Anchia at home and stopped any runs from scoring in that inning. He also walked and grounded out back to the pitcher in the sixth, his last time up. Here's a called ball outside, and German in his first Cape Cod Baseball League action. He has collegiate league experience. The Madison Mallards of the Northwoods League is where he called home last summer. He had a 2.60 ERA, 5-3 record. Swinging and missing is Miller, and this could be it. McIver throws it down to first. He does. And the Wareham Gatemen have their first win of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. It comes in the form of a 9-0 victory over the Harwich Mariners.
The Wareham Gatemen 9, the Harwich Mariners 0. Fans, thank you for coming out to White House Field this evening. And just a reminder, the Mariners...
So that is the final. The Gatemen slap hands. They're excited about this one. Harwich slowly comes out, and the coaches will shake hands. Andy Shatted is our player of the game today, Jacob. He had an outstanding night. Really was the driving force behind a lot of these runs for the Gatemen. They put up 9 on the board. They now have 9 on the season. Harwich is shut out for the first time this year, and they will take their second loss of the season. So why are the Gatemen 1-1? What did they do tonight that they couldn't do yesterday?
Again, simple but true. They scored the runs. They were runners in scoring position, and they went through and scored. The man he shattered, the Bradley Jr., today was 3 for 5. He had a single back in the second. A single came around to score in the fifth. An RBI double in the sixth. He also came around to score as well. And obviously he's a temporary contract player, so he's trying to prove himself to Don Snedden and the coaching staff, and he did a brilliant job of that. Played great defense out in right field as well. So the full game, the full package you see there from Shattuck coming together, and he's trying to show off his stuff. He's trying to stick around in Wareham for a little bit longer.
And he might for who knows how long, but tonight he is our player of the game, and he had a fantastic day today, fantastic season with his college, Bradley. And the Gatemen, they will go into tomorrow's game against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who they dropped a game against yesterday, unfortunately, but they are 1-1 now. We're waiting on a score from Hyannis, and it looks like they will lose. So both teams are going to go into tomorrow's game 1-1, Brewster beating the Harbor Hawks tonight. So we're going to see the Harbor Hawks for the second time in 3 days. What do the Gatemen need to do in that one to be successful?
Well, they need to have the pitching from the first appearance with the Harbor Hawks, and they need to have the batting here on the first appearance with the Mariners, and both of that should be semi-okay for a win for the Gatemen. But as long as that can happen, they will win the game, and we'll see what the Harbor Hawks will throw against the Gatemen. That's 2 appearances or 2 games versus the Harbor Hawks in the first out of the first 3, so it'll be a showdown at Spillane Field. It should be fun.
All right, so thank you very much for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. It was a 9-0 victory, 15 hits for the Gatemen. The general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The producers of today's broadcast are Nick Viorenti and Matthew Wieselthayer. Our sideline reporter is Claudia Chakamian. Thanks to our writer, Matthew Feld, and today's host, Sam Corman. The next broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball will be tomorrow as the Wareham Gatemen host the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The game starts at 6:30, and our coverage begins right here on the Gatemen Baseball Network at 6 p.m. with Gatemen Pregame Live. For Jacob Toby, I'm Connor Federico. Thanks so much for tuning in to this presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Good night.